Check. We'd like to give a 5-minute warning till start time. 5-minute warning. Come on in, squeeze on in. It's cooler under the big top here. We got those air conditioner blowing here, so come on in. 5-minute warning. 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. Stand by. Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to get started at this time. Tatanast atta, size hal igaltel atta. In Canada, there's over 634 First Nations, and we all belong to one of 11 language groups. And my language group is known as the Dene. We stretch from Alaska down to Mexico. We're the most populous indigenous nation in North America, and we have the most casinos. We'd like to welcome you all to the confluence of Treaty 7. So I'd like to give intro to all of our relatives from Treaty 7. Oke, from our Blackfoot relatives. Ombawashte, from our Minithne, Stoney Nakota relatives. Danishe, from our Métis relatives. Tatanast Atta, from Tsuut'ina Nation. But we also like to reflect other nations. Danse, in the Cree language. Ani, in the Anishinaabe. Masicho, our northern Dene, Galeaklasla from our western relatives, and of course, this being a bilingual country. Bonjour, comment t'appelles-tu? Je m'appelle Hal Eagletail. And if there's any Germans in the house, und hang sich und hell adler Schweif. Welcome to the CEC Design Reveal and Groundbreaking. To start off everything, we wanted to ask the elders that gave us a blessing invocation prayer this morning with pipe ceremony, but we'd like to acknowledge at this time the land acknowledgement. And you always have to have a non-native doing a land acknowledgement, because when you have a native doing it, it's like tooting our own horn. So we don't like to brag. So David Duckworth, CAO, City of Calgary, for the land acknowledgement.
The city of Calgary, where the Bow and Elbow rivers meet, was historically a place of confluence where the sharing of resources, ideas, and opportunities naturally come together. Long before Scottish settlers named it Calgary, the original Indigenous nations of this area had their own names for the land. In the Blackfoot language, it is called Moginstis. The Iyithka, Nakota, Wiskatabi First Nations refer this place to Wishipa, Uyade, and the people of Tsutena Nation call it Gutsis. The Métis call the Calgary area Otasquani. We would like to take this opportunity to appreciate and acknowledge that we are gathered on the ancestral and traditional territory of the Blackfoot Confederacy, made up of Siksika, Bigani, Omska Bibigani, and Gaina First Nations. The Iyithka, Nakota, Wiskatabi First Nations, comprised of the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Goodstoney First Nations, and the Tsutena First Nation. The city of Calgary is also homeland to the historic Northwest Métis and to the Otapemswa Métis government, Métis Nation, Battle River. We acknowledge all Indigenous people who have made Calgary their home.
You know, I'm currently working with the CBE board to introduce a acknowledgement to the land acknowledgement from a First Nation perspective. And basically, we're just saying we welcome you to the lands and give you the shared responsibility to live in harmony with all living things. So to live in harmony, we ask for blessing, prayer, and invocation. And we'd like to ask the representations of the Blackfoot Confederacy, Fred Breaker, from the Métis Nation of Alberta, George Pambrun, and from the Tsutena Nation, Michael McGuinness, and from the Minithne Stoney Nakoda Nation, Rod Hunter, to please come to the stage for a blessing. We're going to present tobacco to each and every one of you. Now, tobacco was the very first plant gifted to Mother Earth. Whenever we take anything from the land, animal, plant, medicine, tobacco is our payment. That's how we pay for the acknowledgement of all living things. And the blessing itself, we're going to ask for the land. You know, maybe in our ancestral past, this may have been some battlegrounds or maybe some ancestors under the ground that we ask to live in harmony with. And this is why it's so important for this request of blessing prayer. So with that, my Tsutena culture, we stay seated during a blessing prayer. But however your denomination interprets you to be respectful, you may stand or you may sit. Either or is very appropriate. So with that, we're going to ask our elders to give us blessing prayers and say a little blessing prayers for the real emotional distress and mental health that our Oiler fans have experienced. Everyone say amen. Say hi hi. Say ish nish. Say sukapi. Say makondalinalas tatanayis sanako gujala. In the different languages, that's how we say amen. You know, the society we live in are finally catching up to indigenous philosophy, that every single person has an equal role in our society. The woman had an equal role, the elder, the child, the two-spirit, the special ability people, and the man. And it's beautiful to see that our leadership is representative of that wonderful woman's spirit. I'd just like to give a quick shout out to Premier Smith, also known as Comes from the Light, from the Shining Sweetgrass Woman. Beautiful Cree name that was transferred to her. And of course, Holy Eagle Woman, Mayor Gondak. So thank you for that. And I'd like to ask Mayor to come on up and welcome us all here at a beautiful, memorable, historical event.
Good afternoon, everybody. Oki, Dadanastada, Ambawastich, and Tansei. These are greetings to all of you in the mother languages of the Indigenous peoples who stewarded these lands at the confluence of the Bow and Elbow rivers for generations before many of us came to settle here. And thank you to the elders for starting us off in such a good way. Earlier this month, in this area where we are all gathered today, I had the opportunity to chat with Calgarians and visitors who came here during Calgary Stampede. Locals and guests alike were absolutely glowing about our blue sky city, about the big changes that they have seen downtown and in the culture and entertainment district. People were enamored by the beauty and the welcoming of the new BMO Convention Center, as well as the history stored inside the new SAM Center. They were excited about the rejuvenation of both Arts Commons and the Glenbow Museum, and they were grateful that both public and private sectors had collaborated in investing in our bright future. You see, when a city invests in itself, as Calgary has, people take notice. They want to be part of something that holds promise and sends a signal that we are back in action. Today's design reveal of Calgary's new event center is another bold step forward. It's another message that we are invested in creating spaces and places where everyone belongs, that we are a city that takes its role in hospitality and tourism seriously. Our new event center pays tribute to Indigenous peoples, establishing a link between Indigenous histories and ways of knowing, and a new gathering space that will honor those traditions. This place speaks to you. It embraces you, and it keeps the home fires burning. It says, come in, there is room. In this building and within its surrounding public spaces, you will find connection with the land and with one another. You will belong here. I'm looking forward to the ways in which this facility and the culture and entertainment district will continue to propel Calgary's economy and arts scene, further solidifying our place as the economic engine of this nation and the destination of choice for visitors the world over. And for those of us who call Calgary home, I look forward to the ways in which we will engage with artists and athletes, with old friends and with new acquaintances. And I look forward to the many ways that we will experience that rush of adrenaline as the home team brings in the win, and how we will sing familiar lyrics at the top of our lungs with a few thousand strangers. Today's announcement and design reveal is a moment to celebrate as we continue to build on the success of the Culture and Entertainment District, as we continue to attract more hotels, more restaurants, businesses, and homes to this area. This announcement drives more jobs during construction and during the many attractions that this space will bring to life. This is another signal to the market that Calgary is making strong investments in its future. Congratulations to the design team for this important milestone, and congratulations to everyone that's been involved in this project. It really is a special day today. And with that, I will turn the mic over to the Premier of Alberta, the Honourable Danielle Smith.
Awesome. Thank you, Mayor Gondek. Thank you to Hal Eagletail for emceeing today. It is always so entertaining. I appreciate it. And thank you to all the elders for starting us off in such a good way. And thank you for giving me an excuse to wear red and white today. I've been wearing a lot of blue and orange, so this is a nice change of pace today. I also want to thank everyone for being here to reach this important milestone. It's because of the commitment of many partners, and that includes a lot of the people who are here today. Rick McIver, our Minister of Municipal Affairs, Joseph Scow, Minister of Tourism and Sport, Minister Mohammed Yassin is here also. We've got Calgary Councillor Sonia Sharp, Robert Hayes, the new President and CEO of Calgary Sports and Entertainment, as well as representatives from the Calgary Stampede and other companies that are playing such an important role in this project. Today is all about new beginnings. We're marking the start of construction of the new Arena and Events District and unveiling a vision for a renewed and revitalized downtown. But even as we begin this new phase, I think we can all agree that the momentum has already started. That there's an excitement and an energy that comes with knowing you are already a world-class city. It's in the air right now, especially coming off the heels of a record-breaking Calgary Stampede where over 10 incredible days, we showed nearly 1.5 million people why it is called the greatest outdoor show on earth. We all know that this city is so much more than 10 amazing summer days. Calgary is a city for all seasons, and projects like this one give even more people even more reasons to experience its vibrancy 365 days a year. And once the revitalization is complete, Calgary will be giving every major city in North America a run for its money. As a destination for events, whether you're here to see a concert or watch the Flames in the playoffs, let's be aspirational about this, as a place for a community where friends and neighbors can meet to catch a show, have a dinner, or stroll the Rivers District, and is the best place to call home because a vibrant downtown core contributes to a great quality of life for Calgarians and Albertans overall, bringing jobs and new business opportunities. All of this together will just build on a real sense of pride of living in a city and a province that we are also grateful to call home. Our government is proud to be a major investor in this revitalization project. Our investment, of course, will support public amenities like a new community rink that seats 1,000 spectators. It also supports infrastructure in the area, improving public spaces as well as connections to the Rivers District. But what we really support is the vision that we all share for this great city and this great province to be a destination of choice and the best place in the world to live, to work, and play. Again, thank you to everyone who is involved in this project, and congratulations on this new beginning. I'd now like to invite Councillor Sonia Sharp, Event Centre Committee Chair, to share some remarks.
Thank you, Premier Smith. I'm just going to lower this. Or not. A lot shorter than I am without heels. So today is a big day for Calgary. After a decade of talking, Calgary is breaking ground on a new event center. A project that promises to become a cornerstone of our sports and entertainment district. This building is not only the future home for the Flames, the Wranglers, Roughnecks, and Hitmen, but it is also a vital part of our downtown redevelopment strategy an important community amenity, and the city will recover its costs through lease payments from our tenants for 30 years. This is a place where dreams will be realized, where champions will be made, and where our community will come together to celebrate, to be entertained, and to enjoy. I think everybody here can appreciate the time, the commitment, and the collaboration that it took to get here. And all those words feel like an understatement as I say them out loud. I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to the incredible teams whose vision, dedication, and hard work have brought us to this day. These tireless efforts and unwavering commitment have laid the foundation, both literally and figuratively, for what will become a hub of activity, entertainment, sport, and community. On a more personal level, facilities like these are not just buildings. They are places where special memories are made, just like the Corral and the Saddle Dome have. It's the sort of memory factory that you can only find in big cities, and they contribute to a defining and binding a city together. Generations of families will walk through these doors to create an irreplaceable feeling. And as if that wasn't enough, the impact of this event center will be felt beyond just memories. It'll stimulate our local economy, attract visitors from near and far, and provide a venue for our Calgarians and Albertans to engage in this growing district. Calgary today is a testament to our community spirit and love for the city. As chair, my deepest thanks to the Event Center Committee, Council, the Government of Alberta, CAICON, Dialogue, HOK, Canna Construction, the Indigenous Advisory Committee, and to the City of Calgary administration teams who have played a role in this journey. This groundbreaking is just the beginning. Together, we are building not just an event center and entertainment district, but a legacy that will blaze a trail for future generations to remember. I would like to now welcome up and introduce Robert Hayes, President and CEO of Calgary Sports Entertainment Corporation. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction, Councillor Sharp. Good afternoon, everyone. As the newly minted President and CEO of Calgary Sports and Entertainment, today is one of my first opportunities to represent the organization in front of a large audience and for such a momentous occasion for our city, and I am truly honored. And given the comments of the Premier, a little bit pressured these days. At least she didn't say Stanley Cup in the first year, it was just playoffs. So anyhow, so now, while I have the privilege to stand before you, there are so many individuals from CSEC that have performed what I would call the real heavy lifting to help get us here today, and I want to acknowledge some of them. Representing our ownership group, I'm pleased to welcome Jeff McKeag, Alan Markin, and Alvin Libben. Your ongoing commitment to our community is to be applauded. Thank you so much. My predecessor, John Bean, who has performed an instrumental role these past years and has demonstrated tremendous leadership for the team at CSEC. And of course, our executive group and the entire CSEC team, with special acknowledgement to Susan Darrington, Tom Bond, and Robin Scott. We are also especially thankful to the City of Calgary and the Province of Alberta for their leadership and their steadfast support. And we would never have accomplished this without the involvement of the Indigenous Advisory Group and their guidance and wisdom provided throughout the process on the historic significance of the land. It was from these Indigenous engagement sessions the theme, "Come in, there is room," came from, making it clear that the event center is a place that is designated for everyone. Finally, Scotiabank. They have been an incredible partner in their ongoing commitment to CSEC, for which we are grateful. Our playbook at CSEC speaks to being the heartbeat of our community, creating connections and bringing people together. The new event center will be the perfect way to realize these goals. That's why today, in partnership with Scotiabank, I am so proud and so excited to inform everyone that going forward, The name of the new home of the Calgary Flames is Scotia Place. It is my pleasure to welcome the Executive Vice President, Canadian Commercial Banking for our great partner, Scotiabank, Mr. Chris Manning, up to the stage.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for that introduction, Robert. It is a great honor to be here representing Scotiabank for such a monumental event for the City of Calgary. Before I begin, I would like to introduce some of our local leaders and teammates here from the bank. With me, Daryl Dunn, Karen Burse, Mike Rochon, David Babineau, Mark Sadie, Rodney Wendt, and Jordy Corpin, and many more who are the real local champions in this community for Scotiabank. We have been a proud partner of Calgary Sports and Entertainment Corporation for nearly 20 years. Over that time, we've worked with Calgary Sports and Entertainment to enhance experiences for fans and give back to the community through our work with the Flames Foundation. At the groundbreaking of this new arena, this is just the next evolution of our commitment to the Flames, the City of Calgary, and the province of Alberta. Scotiabank has long believed in investing in the communities where we live and work, and through investments such as arena sponsorships, we believe these can be a force for good. And the arena, as we've heard today, is so much more than just a building. It's a gathering place for the community, a place where we celebrate wins, hopefully. We celebrate and experience our first concerts and relish in the magic of live sports. Arenas become integral to a part of a community, part of the fabric of a city, where people from diverse groups and communities come together for a shared experience. And this is why the name of this arena is so important. As you've no doubt heard from the speakers today, Scotia Place is being built at the meeting place of the Bow and the Elbow Rivers, a place of great historical significance and one that naturally invokes a sense of community and the spirit of gathering. So I have no doubt that Scotia Place will continue the great tradition of gathering in this great significant location. I would like to take a moment to thank our partners at Calgary Sports and Entertainment, the City of Calgary, the province of Alberta, and the Indigenous nations who have been integral to making Scotia Place a reality. I know I speak on behalf of the entire Scotiabank team when I say that we are extremely proud of our continued partnership with Calgary Sports and Entertainment, and we look forward to watching this arena come to life over the next few years as we work together to bring the best of the City of Calgary to its feet. Thank you for everyone who has joined us today, and thank you again for having me.
We'd like to acknowledge our leadership of our First Nations of Treaty 7, and we'd like to call upon Council Member from the Piikani Nation, West Crowshoe, and Council Member from the Stoney Nakoda Nation, Rod Hunter, to say a few words.
Kino tsakwaks. Stu anakoku o kapsi. Kitamak to Putsi Piikani. I'd like to welcome you all. I'd like to thank the elders for the prayers this morning, the ceremony. That's the way we start our events all the time with ceremonies. So thank you, elders, for that. On behalf of the Piikani Nation, as well as the Piikani Nation leadership, I'd like to say welcome to everybody here. Welcome to the ancestral territories of the Blackfoot Confederacy, as well as the signatories of Treaty 7. You know, I've heard words this morning from previous speakers, the mayor and the premier talking about investments and other things, so forth. So the investment that our Indigenous people have put into the, into this kind of a venture is sharing our lands since the signing of the treaties back in 1877. So I want to, welcome you all and thank you all for attending today's event. Also, I'd like to acknowledge all the dignitaries, especially our elders and our First Nation people here representing the big event today. So thank you all. I also heard words such as employment opportunities, jobs. This big venture will take place in Mohkinsis. So we're hoping that we can employ our graduates and our laborers and anybody that comes to the city of Calgary. Hopefully they can find some sort of employment at this new venue or help construct it. Looking forward to all that kind of good work happening. Also with the tourism, tourism is a big part of, it's probably one of the major roles in the economy of Alberta. We have places such as Hidsmesh and Buffalo Jump and all the other sites that are near Mohkinstsis, and also in Mohkinstsis with, the forts. And so we're looking at, hoping we can reach out with our tourism opportunities. Again, we're looking forward to working with Calgary Sports and Entertainment in the near future. So we have somebody else speaking here, so thank you and get them what's in. See you all.
Thank you, Councillor West. You notice this headdress, only our leaders have weasels close to the minds of our leaders, because you can never corner a weasel, ever. So we have these weasels close to the minds of our leaders, especially when dealing with government. Yeah. So I'd like to ask Councilmember Rod Hunter to come on in.
Thank you very much. My name is now Arnold Schwarzenegger, Chief of the Rubber Band. I'm just kidding. Ladies and gentlemen, there's something under your chair as part of this. Can you check, reach under there? Go ahead, check, please. Check under there. You will find that there's nothing there. My grandfather always told me, David once, but if you're going to address a crowd, make sure you say something humorous. That way it'll liven up the people, because as I scanned the crowd here, everybody's like this. So I decided to throw in a joke. But anyways, on behalf of the Bear Spa First Nations, the Goodstoney First Nations, and the Chiniki First Nations from Minisni, Morley, I welcome you all here to this special event. I'm a Calgary Flames fan, so if anybody one of my colleagues said, should we wear our jerseys? I said, heck no, we're going to be hot down there. Desi. Yeah, and it's such a good feeling to know that we're going to go into an awesome building. That I remember the Premier putting a few bucks in there, way back when. I thank you for that. Thank you, Mayor, for helping us out, because as hockey fans, we would love to have a new building, because I'm sad to say that our building here is kind of outdated, but it was one of the best in 1988. But now we're looking to the future, and thanks to Scotia Bank, which is my bank too, where I bank. And they give me 2 credit cards, which I didn't want. But I have them anyway. Just to woo me to keep my $10 in there, Anyways, and to the city of Calgary, for always being good to all of the people of the Treaty 7. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Rod Hunter from the Bear Spa Nation. It's Western theme here in Calgary, home of the greatest outdoor show on earth, and I think they were toying with the idea to have some type of a Western menu flair. They talked about prairie oyster. That's real Western, but it's too expensive. So they looked at maybe getting it from a deer. It's under $1. All right, let's get right into the design reveal. I'd like to call upon Mr. Bill Johnson, Design Principal, HOK Sports Design Co. Welcome, Bill Johnson.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, I'd like to say that it's a real thrill for me to be here. I've done this type of building for a long time, and this one is really special. And we have a great team of consultants and partners in dialogue here in Calgary, so we have worked very hard to come up with this design today. So with that said, I think to avoid any more suspense, we're going to start with a little video, and then I will be able to sort of walk you through some of the details of the project. So I think we're going to move this. Okay.
The land where Calgary's two rivers meet embodies our shared purpose. Together, it is ancestral and historical land of the Indigenous Peoples, a culturally significant location rooted in people coming together, where a community would become a city that grew upward and outward. Here, a passion for rodeo evolved into the Calgary Stampede. The Saddle Dome rose up, playing host to the '88 Winter Olympics, becoming the home of the Calgary Flames, and presenting some of the most memorable concerts. And now, the desire to gather has grown, just as Calgary has over the past 40 years. Inspired by Indigenous perspectives and natural landscapes, from the mountains to the plains, with design elements symbolizing ice, land, sky, and the home fire, around which stories have been shared and new stories will be told. It will be a landmark attraction in our downtown and the emerging culture and entertainment district. A venue for top-tier musical acts, the best performers, entertainers, and world-class athletes. A place for heart-pounding, hair-raising, once-in-a-lifetime experiences, inside and out. This is Scotia Place, Calgary's new event center. The new heart of entertainment.
Pretty good, huh? So, to talk to you a little bit more about the design and how we got to this place, I think the best buildings tell stories and tell narratives. And it was important for us to come up with a story that resonated with this place, this very special place. So I'm just going to go ahead and say next slide. So next slide, please. So we came up with a fairly direct idea, is that this is a meeting place, and this was the birthplace, actually, of this community. And people gathered around the fire. And what better building type than a building that was designed to bring people together than to actually make reference to the fire at the confluence of the rivers. So, but Calgary is a cold place as well, and it's a beautiful city on snowfields with glaciers, and we wanted to balance the idea of fire with ice. And so that became really the theme of the narrative for the design that you just saw. So working with the Indigenous Advisory Committee, next slide please, they actually told us, if you're going to go down this road, then don't forget all of the elements, because really the essence of life is air and land and water and fire. And so the building that you see actually is sort of divided into two places. The uppermost part is the what we call the cauldron. So it holds the flame or the energy of the building in the top. But then the base of the building is actually meant to represent the ice flows in the fields and the glaciers. And so we love the contrast of the hot and the cold, or the fire and the ice. Next slide. So when we incorporated the other elements, how could those elements be incorporated into this idea? Well, land was easy, because we can actually look at our environment and Alberta in general and know the plants and the trees and the things that are native here. And so that was an easy one. But wind was also something that we wanted to incorporate. So the flowing forms, and I'll show you a little bit more detail later about how air was also incorporated into the building, really became the theme. Next, please. So from the mountains to the prairies, coming from the Rockies down into the fields, and as we move across the site from the west to the east, the landscape will actually sort of change as we are designing the perimeter of the building. And all of these things will be represented really in the scale of the site plan. Next one. So this is just the boundaries of the site. So 12th Avenue that you see to the north, 5A Street, 14th Avenue, and then Stampede Trail. And Stampede Trail and actually 14th, we think, will be beautiful festival streets. And those can actually be programmed for any kind of event. You're starting to see some of the features of the site. There are some play fields in this lower corner. And actually, that's where the community rink is. The community rink is actually below this plaza. It seats 1,000 people, and its primary entrance will be here. Really, we see the main entrance right here. And that's in direct relationship to the BMO. And that becomes really where a majority of the people will really enter the site. And then we have a very active 12th Avenue design as well. Okay, next. So this is the main entrance in full festival mode. So what you see is Stampede Trail is actually converted into a entrance to the entertainment district. You start to see the programming, which will have live music, potential. There can be anything going on over in this, but we think that there could be programming before and after events. And this is the south edge of the building, which opens up into the Stampede grounds. There's also I think a pretty popular place. It's going to be an outdoor bar that looks right over the entry plaza as well. And that's sort of a 3-story space of the building. Okay, let's go one more. So we're really walking around the building at this point. So this is on the northwest corner, which would be 12th Avenue and Stampede Trail. And I think one of the things that makes Scotia Place unique, at least in my experience, is these types of buildings can be very internally focused or introverted buildings. This building is a very extroverted building. And that means that we have restaurants, shops, bars, everything located on the outside, and they actually focus out to the sidewalk as well as focusing in during events. Okay, let's go on. This is a close-up on 12th Avenue. This is actually, you see in the foreground, a little building called the Stevenson Building. Well, it was of historic significance on our site, and we were asked to incorporate that into the design. So it is living right next to and anchoring a new food hall. The food hall will be open at all times, except for 3 hours before events, when it will flip over and serve the concourse on the inside. You can see we've developed some outdoor plazas and eating spaces along 12th Avenue. So we really think that's going to activate this entire development or piece of the entertainment district. Okay? And then on 5A, so it was really important for this building to basically address all 4 sides. And we didn't want to leave 5A out in the youth campus. This is actually the parkade. And these design panels that you see, the idea here is that they would actually incorporate art that is important to the Indigenous community, which was the buffalo, dogs, horses, the things that they hold very sacred. So we'd like to interact with an artist to really design this facade, make it special. This will also be seen from Scotsman Hill, so it's a very important side of the building. Okay, next. So here we are in concert mode. And I will tell you that I believe this Scotia Place will be a first world-class, state-of-the-art building that will raise the bar in the entertainment business, and for a lot of reasons. We've built flexibility into the building, very intimate seating bowl. So when concerts or events come, you're going to feel like you're right on the action. And that was intentional, and that was something that CSEC really asked us to achieve. Now in the hockey mode, if we go to the next one. So what's great about this is that unlike some of our competitors, maybe to the west, that have a very large space, this is a very intimate space. And so the seating is very close to the action. It's going to be like playing into a wall of people. So I think we're going to give the Flames an enormous competitive advantage in this project as well. Okay? And then we've talked a little bit about the community rink. So the community rink is below the South Plaza. It seats 1,000 people. It's designed for community use, but it will also be shared for practice. And this is going to be a really great space because it is connected to the other ice sheet, and it will provide really complete flexibility. Has its own private entrance. It can operate independently. Okay? And so we've sort of come full circle. We're sort of back to the front door. One of the things I didn't mention is this digital display that says welcome. 140 meters long, digital display, probably the longest one in Canada, just so you know. So this is going to be really fun. We can program this with any kind of content. It can be sport, it can be anything, really. So we think that's going to really animate the space as well. So really, that might be the last one. One more. So in conclusion, I would just like to say that, you know, our goal was really to create a building that was the home fire for this community, based and inspired by the birthplace of Calgary. We are thrilled to bring it to you, and it was so excited to get it built. So thank you all for all your support, and thank you for everybody that participated.
Thank you, Bill. Well, this concludes the official reveal, and at this time, we'd like to once again thank our leadership and our First Nations leaders and all of the blessings, and each and every one of you for participating and seeing a momentous occasion of a historical significance. Now, we're going to go out for the official groundbreaking. Once again, my name's Hal Eagletail from Tsuut'ina Nation. I also do weddings and bar mitzvahs.